Good morning, sexy souls. How are you all doing? I feel like I'm meant to do more tea here in the next little bit. So I do have my matcha with me. I'm feeling pretty balanced. Hey, Terry, how are you? Feeling really balanced, feeling really good. I don't know why I feel like I just really my temple. Okay. Sorry, guys. Anywho. So I usually use jade leaf for when I make my matcha at home. And this isn't a promotion or something like that. And there's one that I get, and I'm so used to making it the way it does. And this time the package looked different, and I was like, okay. And I grabbed it and I took it home, and I realized it said chef's grade. I was like, oh shit. And that shit's potent and strong and like, you know what I mean? I don't know if what I used before was a diluted version or what. So I've had to get used to using it and not putting as much in and how to make it and all that whatever stuff. So apparently I'm not chef's grade because I couldn't. I'm like, I don't know. Oh, it was a learning curve. It was a learning curve. It was a learning curve. All right. All right. I almost was drawn to pull a crystal, which, okay, I am drawn, but I was almost drawn to pull, like, they want me to look for one. How are you, girlfriend? Hey, Manishka, I'm going to do another little thingy for you, Sarah, and Shruti. If y'all want to join, I'll send you something this week to make it more accommodating to your schedule, because I know y'all had to go to bed and everything else like that. For the last one, and you know, we spent some time talking about other things, so just so you know, keep an eye out. I will send you something. Yeah, I think the three of you are similar, or at least close, not maybe the exact same time zone, but similar. Like, you're within a few hours of each other, so that should make it easier for you all if I accommodate that. So okay, alrighty, let's see here. Thank you. Right? It's like I'm not from. I mean, I use it. I use that. Like, I like it, but I ain't getting paid for shit to say that I like it. Anywho, hey DW, how are you? Okay, get my shit together. Let me get started, guys. Why does it look like everything looks a little? What does it not look like my tables? It's the camera. It's the camera. My tables look cockeyed. Hold on, y'all know how I go. I'm gonna try to get this. What did I just drop? All right, whatever. Okay, here we go. Yeah, good. Well, I twisted the other. Whatever. You know what? What? I don't know. It's not gonna. Anywho. Okay, ready, guys? Here we go. I'm gonna pull Divine Doors and New Era Elements, and I'm doing this differently. I'm gonna find the doors that I feel drawn to. There's something about sunlight coming through on these doors. Okay. I literally just sat and looked at it and I was like, oh, and they're like, pick the ones that you feel like the pictures you're drawn to. So we're going to do that. We're going to see. I don't know where they're going with this. Are they trying to make it fun for me? Yay. All right. So the first one I picked was this one. It feels so good. And then maybe there was an order to this. I don't know. And I picked one that I've never picked before, which is weird, but it felt good. All right, so this one is called Sunset. And this may be like a lift off from yesterday. It may be a totally different thing. Who fucking knows? We're just going to find out, okay? Did you hear me say lift off from yesterday? I just caught myself on that one. Yesterday, I was singing and channeling Little Einstein's Climb Aboard, Get Ready to Explore. It's so much to find Little Einsteins. And it's like on your favorite rocket ship zooming through the sky. Like it was lift, and I just said a lift off from yesterday. I don't even talk like that. Like sometimes it gets annoying when I think my brain is like, I'm gonna say this, and then some shit come out, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like that's how it goes sometimes. All right, like that shit. Like these movies, they make it sound so dramatic when like you're channeling and somebody takes over. And it's like, it's not as like, whoa, oh my God. Like, I don't understand some of that shit. Because when it takes over, it just does. And I'm like, in the wake of it, going, what the fuck? Just saying. Just saying, guys. Time here turns to release and unfurl. Old cords of pain fade as the sun's light burns. This one's a hard one to say. But basically, things are turning in a different direction. Certain things are going to be able to fade in the back because it's like the door is closing is what I want to say, or the sun is setting on something from the past. So, sometimes we kind of get to a liminal space, that liminal space where like one phase or something is done in your life, but you haven't started the other. And so it feels like both are open to you. You feel torn between the future and the past. And it's like, or they both feel blocked off. It's like, but this is like literally the sun is setting, like the memories you experience through your pain, like the things that get dredged up because you relive it, that's getting closed out is what it feels like to me. It's like the sun is setting on that. So you were almost waiting and you were in that liminal space because this wasn't quite closed all the way and this wasn't quite open. That's what it feels like to me. Okay. So they're saying because like this is completely cleaned off and they're bringing me to like my experience where, after my father had passed and I got my mom moved out of her house, we got it sold. I had helped to get it up to par enough to be able to sell it, things like that. And so she was able to, like once everything's settled, the dust settled, I thought, okay, now I'm good to move on. And Spirit was like, not quite. Just because you're not in the past anymore doesn't mean you're ready for the future. And there was a period of purging that had to happen because all that I had been through, and I'm this type of person where I can go through chaos and trauma, and I am the one that's on point with it, and like the leader of the whole thing. And it's like I'm moving through it seemingly unscathed and all kinds of stuff. Like it's not rattling me and everything. And as soon as it's done, as soon as it's quiet, that's when I unravel. You know what I mean? Like that's when I experience my crumble. That's when I experience because I shoved things down and I moved like I needed to, right? But now all that stuff had to come up. And it had been like 10 months by the time I finally got into a new place. And then there was still the time where I had to get settled and moved in and everything, lined up. And so it was really a couple months before, after moving in that I really got a chance to just sit in the quiet. And that's when shit just started coming out in all kinds of different ways, right? And so technically, because I still had held on to a lot of the emotions and anybody who has had to watch a family member slowly die and lose a sense of their independence and their like who they truly are, because you had to cut off so many different things to care for that person, and get to a place where you feel like you're walking through life numb just to make through it, just to get through that. That's a traumatic experience in and of itself, and a painful experience. And I had to release everything that was still within me. So despite things outwardly looking like they were done, there was so much that had to come out of me, because it was something that I couldn't carry with me. And we all know what it's like to walk into a place and feel the energy of it, even if it's something new to you. And this is trying to squeeze off. So I feel like either someone feels blocked in expressing some of those things, or um, maybe somebody hasn't talked about that, hasn't vocalized or verbalized all of that. Like maybe as the sun sets on whatever it is, as you release the pain of it, it this speaking your truth and speaking it into existence, or speaking of it instead of just going through it. I feel like there wasn't an acknowledgement. And maybe that you've stopped yourself. And so I'm feeling this because you haven't allowed yourself to do that, you know? Just putting that out there. But it's like, you know, there we've all been to like a new place we've gone into, and it's like you can still feel the energy of what was before. Or sometimes if you come out of a very tough space, like you're so used to burning the midnight oil because of a certain job. And you hear stories of this online where people are like, I went into a new job that wasn't chaotic and it felt so weird. I didn't know what to do. Like it almost felt like boredom. Peace felt like boredom, right? And so it's because they carried some energy from the past with them. And there's a purging that has to occur, right? And so that's what I feel like. That's what they're bringing to, is that idea and notion that somehow, while you're in that liminal space, that in between, the void, there was a removal of these scraps of energy. There was a purging and a clearing, so that true enjoyment of the next chapter could occur. Okay, that's what I'm getting to. So when they're talking about old cords of pain fade as the sun sets on this, it's like a final letting go of that energy. And of course this one. And I know with that one you can barely see it, so I'm hoping I can get this. The moon. The moon. I was brought to this one. Just draw down the moon is what it's called. Draw down the moon. The forest nymph dance in sheer delight, singing soft songs. Find us in the wild. Good night. And I feel like this is literally just about, again, they're saying you're entering into something where, because you've been able to remove everything from the past, even the fragments that were left behind, all of that's cleansed and cleared and purged, and you can go into something and just enjoy it. And it's like they're showing me like a little kid would, where it's just like sheer delight at something. You ever like have been going through something and you try to get out and go do something to try and lighten your mood, lighten the load, just release a little bit. And let's say you go somewhere with a group of people, and like everybody's laughing. And while you're kind of enjoying yourself, you can't bring yourself to laugh the way the others are. And it's not that what they're talking about isn't funny. It's not that what they're, it's like you're glad to be there, but you're not fully in it. You're not fully experiencing it. There's still a sense of damper on it, on you. And it's that kind of thing. It's like, I want to feel like as lighthearted and joyful as you are. Shit, and you're in it, you're trying it, but it just isn't. And you can't force something like that. And that's what it feels like, though. It's like, dance in sheer delight, singing soft songs. And it's like, find us in the wild. It's like, it's allowing your inner self, your true self out again, your childlike self, to just enjoy something. Because when I think of allowing the wild within out, it's like you're full on experiencing it. It's like the Wands suit, right? Your passion for it is just, it's like it can take you by surprise. You take whatever it is by storm. You just, oh, like pumping through your veins, kind of feel it. You know what I mean? So there's a difference between, had you tried to go into this carrying something with you, like your level of enjoyment wouldn't have been there. And that's what you deserve to have, is this, like, what you've been wanting, and what spirit is saying, like, you really deserve to have this when you move into it. And so sometimes we get held in that space to make sure that once we walk into it, we're not carrying anything that feels, you know what I mean? Because we kind of taint the energy of the new beginning when we do that. And then we have the Odyssey. And this reminds me right here, this is what I saw a lot in Italy. These trees over these types of doors. I got some beautiful pictures, and Sicily specifically, and the Aeolian Islands. So I always say that wrong. The Aeolian Islands, whatever. I have a fat tongue, leave me alone. Take in the beauty of country lands and botany. Explore the wonder like a gypsy traveler's odyssey. And I feel like these two, that's what they're talking about. Like, it is dancing in sheer delight. It's singing a soulful song. It is allowing the inner wild to come out. You know, it's almost like the moon draws out like that passionate inner feminine energy, your true nature, right? And it's explore and be in wonder. Like, allow yourself to go there, is what I want to say. So it's almost as if they wanted to explain the whole idea of why you're in that space, and why just now it seems as though the old is closing out, even though you felt like you left the old a long time ago. And it's because you felt like the old was still with you, because it was an energy. You're looking at it like, I don't see it. Why the fuck does it still feel like that is my present, though? Because it was. So there's a something about right now where it's literally like you're just being pulled out. Like, they gave me a word. What the fuck? Tantalizing. Okay, let's get frou-frou with shit. All right. Like, it's things that would have been like you could only experience things intellectually. That's why when you go out with friends, or when you would do something that you should really enjoy, it was like it felt half-assed, almost not fully experienced, just because it was you were in it, you were doing it because you knew that's a good time for you, but you couldn't feel it, you couldn't really align with it, you couldn't experience it. And they're saying, now you can, right? And so there's something that's like experiences or moments, invitations, going out, all of it feels tantalizing. Like, ooh, I want to go do that. Or, ooh, yeah. And when you're in the moment, you're going to really be able to experience it. And it's like, you know, a gypsy traveler is almost as if there's a sense of freedom in that, is what I think they're trying to express. Like, you're going to feel more free because you're rid of that energy. Like, you're just going to take in the beauty. You're just going to enjoy stuff. Like, the simple thing, it's going to feel good. You know, like the things that you thought, okay, it should really make me feel good, and it wasn't. I'm not sure which way I should go with this, but I feel like it was this. Yes. Now, we've seen this little bad boy several times, but there's something about this and this. It's like the sun setting, and this looks like a sunrise. Does that make sense? And it says, yes. Say yes. Kiss the ground and touch the sky. I love it. It feels so good. Okay. Your soul is set now to leap and fly. Like this is like a no holds bar. Like you're not being held back anymore. That's their message. And then we have this, and the boldness. I love bold, beautiful doors, but the star on this one, something about that just felt so. And it says the art of life. I feel like you are in the energy of living life again rather than just existing in life. Okay. There's no sacred light in the aura of an invisible life. Be bold in your skin. Let your love dance in sight. Like allow yourself to be seen. Like this is no more holding back. You're not the person that's not cracking the jokes in the group of friends anymore. You're not the person that just is in the room to fill it. You're not the person who is quietly tucked away in their home anymore. They're saying you are finally purged of all of that energy. Like you can really enjoy things now. They want you to get out and be playful. They want you to just, and it seems as if it's going to be something where it's like in all kinds of things, right? You're not going to have to plan big events, but I think that you are going to feel very drawn. That's the whole point of the tantalizing. Things are going to feel like they're calling to you, right? And you very well may be getting invitations because they're asking you to say yes. Like when you feel that, like, ooh, I want to try that. We all have heard of that. We've all had that thing. Okay, guys. I know you have this where like a new restaurant opens and then like, so you read about it and you hear about a dish and you're like, oh, I gotta go there. Like it's that kind of feeling like, ooh, yeah, yeah. And I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's, you know, I'm sorry, they were giving me something. Y'all know when I pause, they give me something, but it's like I don't care if it's I want to go for a walk, and so you decide to go for a hike out at a new trail, and it's like you come across all kinds. I don't care what it is, like it feels so good, And I think that things that you were trying to do before, by going out and doing something, and like just trying to get yourself out of that, it was like it wasn't what it had used to be. Like you tried all the things and it just wasn't, right? Um, and so there's going to be something that's going to speak to you. And I think that there are invitations coming because the word invitations came through when I was trying to speak on like you're going to feel called to something. I heard invitations. And so you're going to have like opportunities to just do things, and they're asking you to say yes. I think in some of there's a getting to know yourself again. There's a getting to know living life again versus just existing in it. And in the midst of this feeling good process, there's going to come some type of an invitation, okay? And they're wanting you to just do it, just go for it. Fuck, you know what I mean? Because it feels like being called like by the moon, like your inner, like it's going to speak to something inside of you. Like you're like, fuck yes. And it's something you haven't like played in. Like when I say played in, this aspect of yourself that's going to feel drawn to something hasn't been out to play in a while. And I think that you're just gonna feel like it's a fuck yes. Whatever this is, I think it's gonna feel like a fuck yes because it's gonna ignite something, right? And so it's literally just like allow yourself to go there, allow yourself the freedom, explore and wonder and go for it. Say yes, allow some inner desires to be at play right now. Say yes to those inner desires. And just know that there's nothing sacred about staying safe in your energy or trying to keep yourself safe by not stepping out, if that makes sense. Because sometimes we may get to the point where I've been in this for so long, like, I don't know, that feels uncomfortable to me. Like to answer to and allow out that inner like, you know what I'm saying? However it gets expressed by you feels a bit, you know what I mean? Because maybe in the past, like that's how you were and something dampened it, right? And then you haven't done it in a long time. And it's like, man, every time I go there, like there's a million reasons why, right? You could try and convince yourself or feel like it's safer to hold back. And they're like, you know, they're them holding you back wasn't to punish you, it was to purge you. So if there were things that were blocked off, just and no matter what your efforts, you felt like I just can't get there again, it was to get rid of the old. You needed to put that shit down. That's why, despite things looking like they ended, they didn't feel like you felt like, why do I feel like shit still, you know, because it was. And so now that you're purged, they're like, now you can go out there, you can do things, you can experience life, and some of these things that are like goals of yours that you were wanting will present themselves. And they're like, don't hold back, don't mistaken what you've been through as some kind of like, you know, punishment or like you know, something to that effect where it feels like, is it going to continue to happen? They're like, no, like you can tell. I think you're going to be able to tell by these, the energy's different. If you get around people and you're laughing again and you're, you know what I mean? It's like whatever this is, whatever presents, it's going to speak to something that feels like it's a fuck yes, inner wise, right? And they're like, and sure, it's going to feel like a risk because you've been in hermit mode for so fucking long. You've been in this not living, but just existing for quite some time. And it's going to feel anxious. But it's like you're not doing yourself a service by listening to those little anxieties. Okay. Listen to that thing inside of you that's like, like, yes, like it just ignites you. Whatever ignites you, say yes. Okay. No sacred light in the aura of an invisible life. And a lot of the messages here lately have a fat tongue. Here lately have been about living boldly. Just like do it. Y'all got that one friend you call because you know that your ego or something in your mind is trying to talk you out of something, but you really want to do it. And you call that fucking friend because you know they're going to tell you, bitch, do it. Yes, do it. That's spirit right now. Spirit's that friend. Spirit's like, do it. Like they're encouraging. Okay. Hey, 6 guys. Those are numbers. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta find it. Like, I'm wondering if there's a remix out there of it because the words they were giving me wasn't never gonna give you up. There was something I'm gonna lift you up, something or other, and I heard the female in my head, so there may be a remix. I didn't look yesterday. I had so much, even after our little after party, that I haven't been able to give it time. And I'm like, wow, like I tell you what, sometimes like yesterday after that, like my brain was trying to filter in so many different things. Like, I don't know. Okay. Let's see what Spirit's going to say. So Spirit is saying unequivocally things are going to get better. Because we have right here, like the Empress, and they're giving me this like preparation incubation stage. The Empress is usually full of abundance, about to give birth to something in this world, or something's about to be birthed, that kind of thing. But I always, because she's pregnant right here and has a baby. And so there's like a sense of like something that was being like held in place until it was ready, which caused a feeling of drought, disappointment. Like it was an experience, like you were held in place. They're reiterating this very specifically. And I love it when they bring out cards that are very to the point. Like I don't have like a whole like some. I mean, these had all kinds of story, but like when it's like it's almost like it creates a sentence or a paragraph. And so they're saying like this, there was a lot of disappointment during this phase, during this incubation phase, but it is actually changing because we have the Son of Air, which is the Knight of Swords, which is talking about a pivot, a trajectory change, a new path, a 180, which we talked about yesterday, right? So we've got the Knight of Air or Swords, and then we have the Six of Swords, which is all about the pivot from this disappointment to shit going good, right? It's the transition. Like you but between the two of them was the Knight of Swords. So he said okay. They're saying you may have a male guy, I don't know, masculine guy, whatever the fuck you want to say. That there's a pivot between this and this. Like there's something's going to happen to pivot you. Like the pivot is actually happening right now. There is a change in that. I'm gonna ask one more thing. What is this one? It is. It's exactly that. Okay. Well, it's what I thought it was, but okay. I'm going to interpret this two ways until they tell me it's only one way. Okay, guys? We've got the Two of Cups. This is like, one, obviously your cup is full now. Like you're good. You've purged whatever you needed to. You replenished yourself. You're good. Your cup is full. With the Two of Cups, it's almost like something like it's the reciprocity. It's receiving. It's the equally yoked is what they're saying. I'm like, okay, so that's something in alignment, basically. Your cup is full. Something else that can pour into your cup that you can pour yourself into is coming and presenting itself, right? And this very well may be a person. It could be love. It could just be like a soul connection of some sort or a soul tribe member. And we'll see where it goes. We'll ask. But we have the Daughter of Air, which is the Page of Swords. And sometimes, like depending on how the sword is, the sword helps me to determine if it's communication is coming or someone's gathering information, right? It is like, because this is all about intel and communication and things like that. But is it being given or is it being withheld? But in this particular one, they're showing me where she is here with a sword, and she's, while it's pointed down, she's pulling the sword out of her sheath, right? Out of the protective cover, which means to me that's someone or something is preparing to come in or preparing to communicate. So something's about to come in is what I want to say. Like there's a preparation, right? Like it's been down, it's not been happening, but something is now coming in. And I think that you might be a bit guarded against this because we have the Nine of Wands, which, the Seven of Wands is really doing what you need to do to keep yourself in that successful energy, to protect yourself and to maintain that success. But sometimes that can get very heavy, right? And sometimes in a desperation of things to maintain keeping something successful, or you're keeping yourself protected, right? We start to build up a wall. And so the nine of and it's really just meant to fortify our stance and fortify where we're at so that we don't lose ground again within ourselves. But that it crosses over when you're talking about the Nine of Wands into that area of I'm being a little, it's getting, because at the bottom we've got power is what the word says. And it's almost as if you're like protective stance. Okay. So there's a protective stance against this offer. It's a page of you may feel like, okay, this is starting to make sense. You know how I said I felt like I was closing off, like maybe you haven't expressed it. I think the problem is what you haven't expressed isn't necessarily what you went through, although that may be a part of it. You haven't really expressed your emotion in a long time to somebody. You haven't shared that aspect. You haven't connected with another like this. So this very well may be love, guys. I'm just gonna, yeah. But it's probably a good large portion of people. This is regarding love. Because there's this sense of the page of cups is like a love offer. It is a romantic gesture. It is, it doesn't have to be, but if I'm putting it with the page of cups is with the two of cups, then yeah, I'm thinking, all right, whatever this is, and then that you're guarded against this. It's like you've been in a protective stance for quite some time, and you haven't really been communicating. You've not been talking to people. Whoever this is for, you ain't been out there talking to a shit ton of people. And if you have, it never went anywhere. Like you've never really been in a space. You're about to be in a space where you're gonna be talking to somebody like you haven't talked to in a long time. Like this is gonna be getting vulnerable. This is gonna be romantic. This is gonna be flirting. This is gonna be like with interest. This is, talking about my emotions, getting vulnerable. Like, fuck, ain't been there in a hot minute, spirit. Oh my God. Okay. But you're guarded against it a little bit. But you have somebody who wants to either take you on a date or is going to express interest and is going to reach out to you and communicate with you. And I heard invitation over here, and they are wanting you to get out and have fun and do things. And they're like, say yes, please say yes. Okay. And you're going to be a little bit like, it's almost like a natural knee-jerk reaction to be a little like, you want to what? And that's more the energy, but it may also be because you're like, oh shit, oh fuck, I have not been on a date in a long time. Shit, I haven't kissed somebody in like, oh my God, what if I forgot how to kiss? What the fuck? Like, and it's like riding a bicycle, but you're still a little bit like, damn it. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like to me. Yeah. But you're a little bit like, I don't want to say the word hesitant, but I want to say the word, that's what it feels like. Sometimes words just don't capture it. It's an energy. And so I have to use sounds. It's that's what it feels like. And I wanted to, this is just the Queen of Swords, because I was like, let me make sure with the Nine of Wands. And obviously the Queen of Swords, she's sussing things out. She's got her sword at the draw. I'm not sure if she's going to have to use it or not. She's very she's in her mind trying to figure some shit out. Like she's thinking through, trying to look at you know what I mean? Like, so it is. It's a protective stance. It's you being protective. And because of either the energy you've been in or just so whatever kind of disappointment you've been in the past and that you had to purge in regards to connecting with other people, that's you're good and done. You're in such a good place now, that you're in a place to really thoroughly enjoy this. Sometimes you jump back into things too soon, after whatever emotional trauma. It doesn't have to be a past relationship. Like with me and the things that I went through with my dad, still being in that energy and trying to start something new. Like, can you imagine? Right? We all know people who have lost people and they had to take time afterwards, no matter who it was, because emotionally they just weren't available. And so whatever it was, it's out the door now. Like, that energy is gone and done, and they really want you to, like, they're like, you don't have to hide back anymore. Get out and have some fucking fun. Tell us. We've got the Hermit and the Ace of Swords. So it's literally like, it's a new day. Okay? Because I always look at the Ace of Swords like it's one, Hermit mode got you back into your truth, back into who you are, right? But the Ace of Swords is always like a new path, right? Especially when we've got the Knight of Swords and a pivot change. It is a totally new path. It's a totally new trajectory. It's a totally new lens. Your Hermit mode gave you a fresh, brand new lens, so that when you enter into this, it's not all tainted. Okay? Because to me, your truth is a lens. I've got a raven right outside my fucking window. He is massive. And he has a friend now. Oh, Spirit's joining us. Damn. Because it's usually crows. When they're this big, when they're that big, and they look, yeah, that's a raven. I read somewhere that they say ravens aren't as common. And so, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck people would be talking about, because we got them here. Spirit's joined. You may have two spirit guides very specifically that is trying to help you through this. If there's two deities, two entities, two spirits, whatever that you feel are heavily with you right now, you're right. Okay. What is this about, Spirit? Oh, you're just gonna have, okay. So we have the Five of Wands, which is at the bottom of it. It's like conflict, right? And then we have the Fool. The Five of Wands isn't like, it's almost as if like, Five of Wands can be competing goals. You gotta remember, the Five of Wands, those people are fighting with sticks. No one's really getting hurt. It's not anything dramatic or drastic. In fact, they're really preparing and training for war to be, who they're supposed to be. But, it can also represent like varying different passions and things like that. And so this is literally like feeling almost like, I don't know. So when you get this invitation, you may question if you're ready. You may be like, it sounds great, because here's the thing. You weren't experiencing pure joy before, really, and a lot of times. And so you're just not convinced that you'd be able to do it now, that you'd really be able to connect with another person. And so these things just don't feel as you're not as like, yeah. But to me, this is like in your mind. Because I also get you may just be up in your head about this. Like either getting out there again, or just like I said, where I made this statement like, oh my God, I haven't kissed. And so, like you feel out of your element. You feel like you've been out of practice, and you're just like, oh shit. And so you're in your head about this new beginning. You're in your head. You're going to feel conflicted. but it doesn't feel. So it's almost as if like it's like because I'm like, who's saying fuck yes then? Where's that energy come from? That's what I'm trying to explore. And it's like spirit is like trying to tell you this is a fuck yes. And you may get excited by this prospect, but something about it also has you up in your head. I don't know. Shit, maybe you thought when you got back out into the dating field, like you would just kind of like go on dates with people you knew. We've done this before. Shut up. You know you've done this before where you're like, when you're ready to get out there, you intentionally go on dates with people that you're like, yeah, I know I would never go anywhere, but I just want to get out and have a little bit of fun. Like, let me just get my feet wet again. Let me just, that kind of thing. And I'll be damned if a motherfucker don't show up that you're like, fuck. Seriously, right out the gate? Like, you're going to like them? I'm getting this sense also that maybe it's the kind of person you're like, oh, like, I hate to say it like this. I know you have experienced this. This is what they're giving me. Some people, if it fucks up, you don't care. But then there's other people you're like, oh, I don't want to fuck this up. And I get the sense that this person is like, there's a major attraction there. Because they're giving me somebody who is like, is very much so in alignment with your taste, but maybe almost more so. Like other people, you wouldn't be so upset if you lost them. This sounds so terrible, guys. But with this one, you're like, oh no. Like, you might be building them up a little bit. Like, I don't know if they're really hot and you're just like, oh shit, or if they're just like really good at flirting and you're like, fuck, right out the gate and you feel out of your element or what it is. But there is a sense of like, I don't know, like an unexpectedness at how quickly this shows up. So, okay. I'm going to use the Tarot of Sexual Magic since we're going there. All right. Since you give me this, I may not show some of the images and things like that just to keep it PG-13. But we'll see. This is feeling like this is good. This is good. Let me hear what you're saying. What do you think? It's all dark, cute, and a side of humor. I'm with you on that one. Who the fuck look like me? Are you talking about this one? Which card? This one or? Yeah, it would have to be like. Don't nobody look like me? Okay, yes, that one. Okay. Who's 13? Now, I need to reach out to you too, because that's the biggest cockamamie bullshit with that Tarot Destroyer. Because we have already blocked them a million fucking times, and their name hasn't changed any, and they're so pathetic. Tarot Destroyer, you're so pathetic. Like you got nothing better to do with your time. Like you're God's chosen one to come in and be like, this is wrong. You're not God's chosen. Shut up. Like you're waving your red flag around. Like, okay. It's so pathetic. One more time. But you know what? They magically know when I'm live, which means they must be following me. And they're just like, as soon as she comes on again, we're going to go in there and do something. Oh, you're so special. You're so special. Look at you. Okay, heifer. Okay. Queen of Swords. Again. Your hesitancy comes from protection. And if you look at this person, that's what it is. They're saying you look at this person like, oh, damn, like, you know what I mean? That's terrible. Like, this is somebody that might hurt. And you may feel like for some reason they're out of your league. Like, why do you like me? There's this energy of that. And so you're like, it's like they're more than you anticipated right out the gate. Meaning you thought getting out there and you date again and you were wowed somehow by this person when they approach. And it feels a little like, maybe I'm not I wasn't ready for this yet, Spirit. I wasn't ready. Like there's this lack of, like, want to bring me back to this, like, out of the game. I've been out of the game. I've been out of practice. I've been out of the, you know what I mean? And so it's like, it feels, sometimes you just want to ease your way back into shit and there's no easing. And then when they're saying right out of the gate, it's like, this may be like the first fucker when you're out willing to go on dates again and willing to interact again. First fucker that asks you out, you're like, oh shit. That's what it feels like. And I think they're not giving me anything as to like past pain that's stopping you from this. It's just like there's like an awkwardness, a weirdness to it, and anxiety a little bit. This is almost cute. I feel like whoever this is, you would get irritated at me going, oh, that is so cute. And be like, this is not cute. Okay, tell us about this invitation. It didn't really pop out. It has to pop out. Well, fuck me. I think we're going to put this one back and we're going to take these two because these two flew. It's a legit offer. Damn. Are you worried that you shouldn't you shouldn't like want to get serious with the first person you go out on dates with when you get back out into the field? You're like, wait, that was way too quick. Because we have the Page of Pentacles right here. Page of Pentacles. And he's got something good. I'm just going to say, because in this one, not only do we have like a candle burning, but he's like pouring his cup into her. Like that's just, and she's like, ugh. You ever like seen those movies where like something's so good, like the person's been so parched that the stuff's just running down their neck? That's what she's doing. She's like, oh, that is good. Like that. Shit. You are gonna like it. Damn it. The Sun card. Damn, you're gonna like this. Right out the gate. You're almost like, I have no, it really feels like you're like, there's no way that the first one could be the right one. There's no way that the first one I really connect with and go on a date with is the one that I'm like, oh, I want to be in a serious relationship with you. You're just like, no. It's like your mind's just trying to convince you, like, there's no way. Like, you're not, like, don't get your hopes up. Like it should, like, getting back out into the field should look a certain way. Why should date around? Because you're going to have people telling you that. I just heard someone else saying it in their voice. Are you sure you should date around? Get them bitches out your head. Okay. Are you sure you haven't been dating for a while? Like, are you sure you want to get serious with it? Like, oh, okay. But and people may have told you this before, that to the point where you've adopted it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to be uber cautious or something, right? And they're like, so you're skeptical. That's the word. You're skeptical. When it presents, you're like, it just does. I'm just, you're gonna like what they got. You're gonna like what they got. You're gonna like it. I mean, look at her. Look at her. She's like, he's pouring that cup in there, pouring that cup. And these two completely butt naked, facing each other. So it's like nothing is hidden, not even a cape. Like they're utterly vulnerable. And the sun is the hell yes card. Okay. So now we know. They're like, let me remind you, when you get into the energy of, no way, there's no way, like this can't be this quickly, this can't, Spirit's here to tell you, and they're like do it, go for it, do it. They're the fuck yes. They're the cheerleader in the background. They're also saying this. I want you to remember this when you start getting out there really good, okay? If you've just met somebody and you're kind of like, and you're holding back, this is what they got to fucking say. There's no sacred light in the aura of an invisible life. There's nothing sacred about staying safe. I better put that back. Sorry. All right, motherfuckers. We're not doing books. Okay, I want to show you something. Is it? I think you're worried that you're not going to see something, that there's going to be a factor that's hidden in this. And so you're just telling yourself there's no way. Right out the gate, like nuh-uh. Like nuh-uh. And then for them to appear as good as they are and for you to be as attracted as you are, like I feel like there is, because we got the Page of Pentacles, which is a serious, solid offer. They're extending something to you, right? Like Pentacles is a very, like, it's always a solid offer. Yeah, you're just like, let me show you. In this one, your back is turned to this person, okay? And in this one, which is the Chariot, her back is to him, right? The back is to him. I feel like whoever's coming in is not of two minds. Like, this thing's going to move forward with force, is what I heard. Like the Rhino Spirit, Chariot, there's a lot of force behind it. It's going to move forward with force. And there's a piece of it where you can't fathom it. You don't expect it. And that might be in the readings where it's like there's an element that's so unexpected about this, or it comes about unexpectedly, because you're like, there's just no way. Like, and when they're talking about speed, that's what they mean. They're not like, 2 days and things like that. They're like, no, once you decide to go out there, once you put yourself out there, you're gonna be like, there's no fucking way. The first one. What? Like, once you have let the sun set on an old thing, you're thinking, I need to, whoever this is for, and because I've read before, I'm like, let yourself get out there and try things and and experience stuff. You know, I've read for people where that's the case. This is going to happen so quickly. You're going to find somebody that you want to actually be in a relationship with right out the fucking gate. And there's going to be a lot of momentum and force behind this. And over here, because your back is turned in a lot of ways, it's like, and for me, it's this unexpectedness of it, but also like right here, the Seven of Swords. She's out here like, da, 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 da. And this person's like, I'm not really sure. Seven of Swords, the sword is down. There's a concern, like, some level of concern that allowing yourself to go there so quickly and just taking the first offer will lead you down the wrong path. Like somehow some deceitful shit's gonna happen. Uh, and I think you got to be careful of the Queen of Swords energy that you've got, where you're kind of like, uh, you may think logically in this and try to make your moves and things like that logically instead of with your heart, right? And there's a sense of that wall, that energetic, like, I'm not sure, that resistance that's there may feel, because this person does not have resistance. They're going for it. And each of these, they are gung-ho with it, right? But with your back to them and every single one of them, it may come across as that may actually, I'm getting a sense of like that may, Spirit's encouraging you to be vulnerable, encouraging you to give this a shot, encouraging you to not place the parameters that your mind wants to on this, because that, like, they'll be able to feel that resistance. And in this one, he doesn't look too happy with that. He looks sad, actually. Now she's like, well, that's normal. That's okay. Like, she doesn't seem to be sad. She's just staring at the flowers and things like that. But it's like there's a sense of, and you may be in, your back may constantly be turned in this. I get the energy of worry, of deceit, a worry of getting it wrong, worry of something not going right. And so it's like maybe they will start questioning if you really like them, if that resistance continues. So I think there's a caution here of this Queen of Swords of energy, and that if you'll at least allow yourself to be open to this, you're going to thoroughly enjoy it. And Spirit is encouraging you. The two cards in this particular deck where I say they're exceptionally vulnerable, and usually it comes with the King of Wands. I'm going to show you. Right? Nothing showing. They're bearing it all to one another. King of Wands knows he wants whoever's in front of him. He's inviting them in. He has immense passion for them. And he allows it to be known. And I think Spirit is saying, reciprocate that. Reciprocate that. Instead of sitting like this, where you have your sword drawn just in case, and you have this energy about you where it's like you're not really letting them in. Just because you're around somebody doesn't mean you've let them in. And it doesn't mean that you're giving it a real shot. It's like they're going to be able to sense it. And Spirit's encouraging you with the two cards that they can. The two cards were like very vulnerable with one another. Like, this is going to turn out very good if you allow it. I get the sense that whoever's coming in is almost like chomping at the bit, is what they said, chomping at the bit to get to know you, to get close with you. They really just know they want. Like, they know right away. And you're the one that's hesitant. Whoever I'm reading it like I'm reading for the, like, whoever's listening is the one that needs to hear this. Because in this one, he looks a little disappointed and, desiring something, but he's not going to communicate it because the sword is pointed down. So they won't necessarily let you know. I get the feeling it would almost hurt their feelings. And they're just waiting. They really want you. They really want to make a deeper connection. And for you not to feel so guarded against them. God, I mean, look at the way that look at that shit. Look at the way he just melts when she finally opens up, and like You know what I'm saying? So, okay, so we got 2 yes cards here. And this is like spirit being your cheerleader, saying, give it a shot, give it a go. Like, don't allow the parameters of what either other people have said, or your mind to go, no, there's no way. Don't build this person up to be bigger than what they are. Don't allow your wall to be up too high that it prevents you from like, I feel like the wall's not like up like this. It's like just here, because it's protecting the heart. Your wall is built just so you can interact and you can, but it's like almost something blocking this. And people can feel that. They want to make that connection with you. They want you to feel safe in their presence, whoever this is. And it's going to bother them that you don't, but I don't think that they're going to necessarily turn away per se, but I think that they're going to hide how that impacts them. And it's probably in a sense not to make you feel pressured or pushed, but I'm just saying, like they're prepping you. They're saying you're actually good. Like, it's okay to let yourself enjoy this. It's okay to jump in. Take a leap. It's okay. There's nothing sacred by not living your life, by holding back. Nothing. You won't get to experience, like it's time to get out of the just existing in life and get back into experiencing it. That's what they're saying. Okay. Hey, Jow. So, wow. That was a good reading. I like that one. Let's see where we're at. Hey, Curdy. Kirti. I always say it, Shruti Kirti. Like, I know you've told me how to pronounce it a million times. Who's like, was it Tarot Destroyer that said something about being 13? Like, if you're 13, you should be asleep. Like, what? All right. Any questions? That was nice. Ooh, okay, I'm going to just do one little thing really quick. I just kind of I want a little something on this whole getting back out there dating thing. Like, they just said you're going to be surprised. Like, you're going to be surprised at who, and that may be the piece where you're like, no. Like, where you feel like I was feeling like there's a sense of building this person up greater than what they should be. Like you just, like, not that they should, like, not that they're not great, but that you shouldn't be, don't put them on some kind of a pedestal. Be careful not to do that. But I just, you're going to be surprised. Like, you're going to be surprised at who wants to take you out. You're going to be surprised. Can we know about this motherfucker? Like, now I'm interested. Now we're getting nosy, right? Now we're getting, like, let's tantalize this person. Let's pull some. That's why they use the word tantalize. I was like, oh, whatever this feels like, these things are gonna, whatever this experience is, it's gonna tantalize you. And it's like, you're gonna. I have a feeling you're not gonna be able to say no, but you're gonna be in your head about it. Oh, I get it. I think you're gonna be hella attracted to this person, and you're like, I didn't even get to, like, get back in the swing of shit. What the fuck? Wow, it's so funny. Wouldn't it be funny if Spirit was like giving you information, guiding you, making you, like, telling you to get out there again go around and date and all this other kind of stuff, only to have like something up their sleeve where it's like the first person you meet. Like you ever feel like you've been led astray, like not led astray, but you've been kind of like fibbed to by spirit, like you was under the impression one thing was gonna happen and all of a sudden something else does, and they're like, we got you. That's what it feels like. Like, well, fuck you, spirit. So I want to know. Like, let's give this person a little candy. Like, what? So this person is a little bit of like a, I was going to try to say this person's like a dream for you. Like, yes. Like a little bit of like, got something that you've always really just like, you've liked and maybe you haven't had in a person, or you like, I'll give you an example, right? It doesn't have to be this, guys. Okay. For me, like my friend, she loves to joke around. She goes, there's a beard. Like, I love beards. I love a clean face too, but I love beards. And if you can grow your beard out in a week, oh my God, really? Between a week and 2 weeks. Oh yeah. Like, I just love beards. And so like, I am like if I find a nice beard, I'm like, oh my gosh. Right. And so my friend's always like, oh, look at that beard. Or, oh, look at that. You know, I have a thing. Okay. What if like this dude with the most epic, not only is he like the right, you may not have a dude. I'm just talking about me. Like, just the right height, right build, but the most perfect epic beard where you're like, huh, shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. Like, that's what it feels like to me. Because they said they're a vision. I was going to try and say, like, there's something very, like, you know, like a wish come true. Because the distant horizon is like a wish come true. Like, think of the things where you're like, okay, this is what they're reminding me. You know how, like, your soul inside of you has certain things that it expects and wants out of a connection? And then your human's like, but I'd love this too. Like, imagine all of that. You know, and that's different for everybody. I'm just going to say, right? Like, some people are like, oh my God, they can't have a beard. I'm like, I'll take it. I'll take the beard. I like the beard. So, anywho, it's kind of like that. You're like, oh, fuck. Like, spirit got you, didn't they? They got you. Bitch. You got had. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's what it feels like. And then we have, this person's going to feel so fucking familiar is what they just said. We have the house card. Their energy feels familiar and good. Because this could be family, this could be a structure, this can be things that are close, but it's mostly like it's everything that you could list. What this card means is everything that's familiar. Feels close to home, right? It's like there's something familiar about this person. Okay. Explain yourself, Spirit. Explain yourself. There's an element of this person that had, like, I feel like let me ask, is it yeah. Okay. So we have the false person imprisonment. And they're giving me the sense of like the false person can also be like someone wondering like is this a mask or is this really them? Like is this who they really are? Or it could be like aspects of something that are hidden, like that a person has been hidden, like who they, you know what I mean? And with the imprisonment, they're giving me this sense of like your state of hermit mode kept this person. This person's been almost like hidden from you because of where you would like you've not been where this person could. It's like not being, when you're not going the fuck out, you are not going to be in the areas where you could meet this person type of thing, right? Also there's like this person, I feel like community card is connected to like they've been hidden because they have been in like this feels like their community, like their network, their social circle, their, you know what I'm saying? And somehow they've been hidden from you because they're located in that. And like there's been this sense of entrapment where you haven't been able to connect or go to this place. Hear me out. I'm going to give a few examples. Let's say you've been promising yourself you're going to go travel and you want to go to such and such place for the weekend, but everything in your life kind of kept you at that liminal space. You were in a holding pattern, right? And so you never got to go. It's not your normal place, not your normal haunts. All right. Wherever this location is, this gathering, this place, you just haven't been able to get there, go there, or come like enjoy that area, right? And that's why this person's been a bit hidden. Like they've been hidden from your view because you've not. Whether it's I've been telling myself for 2 years I was going to go for a trip to the beach or something like that, and I haven't, and so it's been postponed. And so that's why you coming up. Or it could be I've been in such hermit mode that I only go like a 1 mile radius around where I live. I haven't really been out and about to do things. I've kind of secluded myself, and I needed to go to these other places. I wasn't feeling like I was having a lot of joy. And so I quit going out places that would have normally been, you know what I'm saying? And it's like that person was somehow always there. And so they've been hidden by your imprisonment is what I want to say. And there's something about with this is how you come across their path. Something about you coming back out of this you're going to go somewhere. It's been a long time. You either haven't ever been there or you have put off going there, or because this is like someone's like stomping ground, their neighborhood, their social circle. This could be like you've been invited a million times by a friend to go out and you're like, you never go because you don't really know the people. And so you've been in this reclusive, you've kind of almost held yourself back. And because of that, this person's been hidden from you. And so somehow when you get out of this, and the sun sets on the old and you get out and allow yourself, because this card, I'm going to read it for you. They literally say it's like a chance encounter, things like that. Let me just read it for you really quick so that you understand. Okay. It's right here. Almost we're on the exact page. This card represents social life. I just fucking said that, right? Meetings, arrangements, friendly encounters. Be open for a new person who enters your life. Try to meet people and search for new contacts. Someone who's suddenly in your world. Getting together socially, romantically. Where was it? A new encounter, because it says like early stages of a relationship. Note that Cupid's bow is unstrung and has no arrow, so no one's wildly in love. ... Yet. New person, friendly encounter. They cross your path. Okay. Okay. So either you've been wanting to do something for quite some time, and your life has kind of kept you in a whatever, and that liminal space kept you like because you weren't really enjoying things, and so it could have been one of those paths that spirit had blocked off to you. Like you really wanted to go on this trip, you really wanted to go here and try this, you really wanted to whatever it was, and you never could, and you didn't try as hard because you kept feeling like you weren't joy just wasn't to be had, and so you may have reclused some, whatever it was. But that is what hid this person. I got tingles, bitch. I got tingles. And when you go there, because there's something about, I feel like you're going to go where they normally would, or where they would have always been able to cross your path had you been there. Like, it's their stomping ground. It's their social network. It's their community. So it's something about when it's their stomping ground, they may not be out every single day at this location, but it's like they frequent enough, it's familiar to them. And that's how you cross their path. So, okay, let's see here. It's 11:11, guys. Okay. Let's find out. Let's get some good, solid energy on this person. Just 10 more minutes because I got something to go do, but we're gonna use Storm and Tarot. Let's ask about this person. Now, they may, instead of describing physical characteristics, because if this is for a multitude of people, they're going to explain how you might respond and feel, or how you'll perceive them, right? That happens frequently because if I get too specific, then somebody's going to think this is not for them, and spirit will be like, no, it's for you. Let's know more about this person. This person's tell me about this one. I feel like saying they've gone through their own healing journey. Like I was holding back. I'm like, say it. Damn, spirit. Okay. Oh. What the fuck? It's as if this person's, oh, fuck. I hate this. Okay. Because there's going to be fuckers out there that will try to be like, that's mine. It's my reading. And it's not really their fucking reading. Like, they just want this princess fairy tale, fan fiction fucking life, and it doesn't always happen like that. It does happen for some people, but everybody wants to get a really beautiful story and like, that one's mine. That's my story. And it's like, they don't really fucking know. And so I get really weirded out when I have to do these readings like this, but let's go there. So this person's been through their own healing journey. We got the Star card. This is the Starman Tarot, okay? Been through their own healing, but also they've been waiting for guidance. They've been waiting. It's like after that healing that they went through, they weren't going to go for anyone. They were waiting for someone, the one. Like they have held back, which has been a bit of a burden, because we've got the Nine of Swords. it's like they've been wanting to have connection and wanting to meet somebody that they align with and that aligns with them post healing, right? Because I feel like they probably aligned with a lot of fucking people prior to that. Okay. And there's been a sense of like anxiety and stress because despite encountering people, they've not had that connection. Like, and they won't allow themselves to force it, they just said. So there's been this sense of anxiety and impatience, and when is it going to happen? And I literally just went through a whole spiel about how you could have met this person before, but they're hidden from you because of your own imprisonment, like because of this thing you just went through. And if you tried to come out of that, what you felt like was imprisonment, like that liminal space, if you tried to come out of that too soon, I have no doubt spirit would have blocked you from crossing paths with them. Not yet. You know how, you've seen the movies where like one person's walking out of the store while the other one's getting out of the car and then they go in the store so they just miss kind of thing. Like there's always this like, you know what I mean? Or if you were wanting to go on that trip, nope, you're not going on that trip just yet. Because you might run into them. Like there is a subtle, this is what Spirit's saying. This is not my words. They literally just said there's been a subtle influence. Bitch, you've been playing with my life. Which makes me feel like this familiar card may be, okay, we're going to go there, guys. Like there is a connection with this person that you have from a previous life is the way that it feels to me. Like this feels like a new person, but there may be some kind of like recognition when you meet them. And as woo-woo and fairy tale as that sounds, that can happen sometimes. We've had that happen. I know people have had that where someone is just like, oh my God, they feel like, you know what I mean? And they could still be like somebody that's not meant to be in your life, but you recognize them because of past life. Like you understand their energetic imprint and something in you recognizes it. And so it can feel like this really, at a deeper level, profound encounter, because of that. So we all know that type of energy. So this person feels very familiar, and under the Nine of Swords, because I wanted to make sure, I'm like, why is this? Why is the anxiety here? Why is this mental? Just and it's because of Three of Wands. They've been waiting for their ship. They've been waiting patiently. Wondering which ship is theirs. Three of Wands, waiting for your ships to come in. And then we have the Six of Cups. That's why when they find you, they're very gung-ho. Because it's that recognition. And they've been waiting for this. When they know, they fucking know. They have crossed paths, right? With other people. They may have been dating. They may have been whatever. But they wouldn't let themselves force something to happen with anybody. And they're over here like, and that's what you do. When you've gotten to know your worth and you stop operating out of baser instincts and ego, you're like, what would have been appealing before is no longer. And so this person's just like, that's what they're stressed about. That's what they get in their head about. Nine of Swords. And it's almost like Six of Cups is that remembrance. It is getting back into that childlike energy. It is feeling hopeful again. But they're looking for the familiar. Like Six of Cups is the past life card for me. And with that, we have the world. Like the next chapter or leg of their story gets to happen when they meet you. Like when they get that, like you will be their world, not in a creepy, codependent way, in a now we get to begin our adventure. Now we get to begin the second leg of our adventure. Now we get to, you know what I mean? It's like a whole different world opens up because of this connection for the two of you. And they know it by the familiarity. They know it by this. Six of Cups energy. It's like your inner child and their inner child. Damn. Don't be surprised if this motherfucker has not been in very many relationships, or not been in a long term, or just dated and like nothing was ever really serious for quite some time. Okay. So, all right, guys, I have to hop off. 11:22 and 1:31:31, and it kept going. I have all these little clocks on my thing going, but wow, I wasn't anticipating that one. Like that little tidbit of information. But I am telling you right now, if you MFers do not come back here and let me know about this shit and how it plays out, because I think, like you, and that might also be your resistance, because it feels built up. Remember I said it's almost like they're like, a little bit, and you're like, and they're like, careful, don't do that. Like somehow, like, and like, are they too good for me? Like that kind of, like, there's a little like you're taken aback by this, and you're a little skeptical, and you're a little like right out the fucking gate, and you're like, oh my god, what? Like, and I feel like there's like they check off all they are a vision, right? And they check off all your little thingies, and then to have that gung-ho about you, and you're like, wait the fuck a minute. Like, there's got to be something. Something's off. This never happens. That's probably what it is. And your resistance to, like, they know. They come across very certain. Okay. All right. Well, I hope that was beneficial. For those who just joined, you'll have to go back and rewatch. There was a lot of information there. It was really good. I got to hop off because I have things I've got to take care of. And hopefully I'll be able to jump on tomorrow. Y'all have a great day, okay? Peace out, home skillets.